Mihai's granddaughters liked to keep to themselves mostly. They were well behaved and possessed a sort of quiet elegance. From time to time, I'd catch myself looking at them, wondering what they were talking about. I'm sure everyone on the base did the same. They were such enthralling creatures. Every night, a crowd would gather around Mihai. They were the men tasked with guarding him in the air. Their jackets all bore the same patch, a relic from a nation that was long gone. Decades ago, during the Age of Expansion, the Kingdom of Erusia absorbed many countries. Theirs was one of them. Mihai asked them,
"Yet what is a nation? Can we actually see the physical lines that divide one from another?"
People of my generation can no longer speak the language of our homeland. My grandparents always look sad when they see I have no idea what they're saying to me.
Mihai didn't say a word after that. His scarred face betrayed no emotion. He didn't get those scars from flying, though. Mihai was originally from Shalaji. His real name is Mihai Dumitru Margarita Corneliu Leopold Blanca Carol Aeon Ignatius Raphael Maria Nikitas A. Shalaji. When he was young, he was the heir to the Grand Duchy of Shalaji. Then, revolution broke out among his people. Mihai was betrayed by a close friend who pointed a gun at his face and pulled the trigger. The revolution was successful, but the new country that sprang from it was annexed by the expanding Kingdom of Erusia. The Erusian royal family allowed Mihai's family to retain their title and noble standing in the new kingdom. But Mihai surprised them all by signing up for the draft like an ordinary Erusian citizen. He was then accepted into the Air Force Academy by order of the king. Mihai soon became an ace pilot. When the royal family was ousted and Erusia became a republic, he continued his service for the new regime. Test sites soon flourished. One day, a classmate of Mihai's granddaughter visited. I noticed the rose emblem. She laughed like a princess. And I found out later, she was indeed the daughter of Erusia's new ruler. She was the connection to the royal bloodline everyone was looking for, the one to restore the monarchy. This new princess was truly a godsend for the Erusian people. If Mihai's granddaughters were like the moon, she was like the sun, around which everything seemed to orbit. Her face was so expressive. It's no wonder the people of this war-torn country instantly felt at ease when they saw her speeches. They started singing. The pilots of the support plane smiled, even though they wished their nation were independent from hers. Angelic. I wonder how Mihai felt about all of this. It was my job to research his neurological data, after all. I wish I could figure him out. Whatever his feelings were about losing his homeland, he kept hidden, even from me.
Your mission is to atone for your crimes by attracting the enemy's attention. First, I want you to head from the base to the desert region of Roca-Roja to the northwest. And then second, you will attack the large Erusian base there. We've been unable to verify that base's ability to deal with fighters. You will attack and provoke the enemy into revealing their AA strategy. Get them to fire at you as much as you can. That way, we can confirm where they're firing from. Then it's a case of sending in a regular force to clean them out. For this mission, we prepared a frontline base that can be used for ammo replenishment and aircraft repairs. However, this is not for you guys. Only the regular force has permission to use it. Even if you run out of ammo, don't forget that you're just decoys. You stay out there as targets for the enemy.
Alright, so welcome back to Ace Combat. So, funny thing about this, this one video. I actually just got done, I thought I got done recording this entire thing. Forgot to actually hit the record button on Audacity, so this is my second time watching this video. Talking over it. Oh man.
Aircraft preparations complete.
Yeah, so this one's another bombing mission. Going with the A10 this time. If you want, you could also take the SU-37 if you really wanted to. SU-37 or the SU-27. Whichever one has like the little like two-seater up front that looks like a minivan.
Welcome. All aircraft, spread out and attack.
We're clear to attack, right? I heard the regular forces were gonna clean things up.
It's just like before.
So yeah.
We blow the shit out of everything. Sharp as attack, aren't you, Spare Aid? Regular
As
forces
soon as
can
this
reduce
mission
losses if
starts,
you tenderize the base
you gotta
first.
be quick about
If
this
you can't
one,
handle that,
since you're on
just
time
fly and
limit.
be a target.
15 minutes sounds like a lot of time, but it's not really. All the targets are kind of spread out, and you're going to be met with a lot of anti-aircraft and SAM sites on this one. So as soon as that timer hits, like you gotta like move it.
Threat levels vary. Think of the best way to rob them
For
of
this
their
one, I
ability to
picked the
respond. Use those empty heads of yours.
multi-air-to-ground
Die too
missiles.
fast, you won't even be
I would
useful
actually
as
recommend
targets.
the unguided bomb for this one. It has like a bigger radius, and it doesn't have as big as a reload time. Because there's not a lot of moving targets, like that's the only reason you no need to take the lock-on, or the 4 lock-on.
What are the odds of getting out of line?
That's for you to figure out, Spare 7.
Let's start out by talking a little bit about the
Aircraft
A10.
that join later needing any repairs
This
or
one's
ammo will fly
pretty
over the return line.
well-known.
However, you guys do
You'll
not
probably
have that
recognize this aircraft,
So, what are we supposed to do?
if you're American at least.
Target confirmed destroyed. Trigger again.
Trigger. Rocking it off.
Cut the crap. There's work to do.
I'm out. Turn to supply. How are we supposed to work without ammo? I'm heading back.
So,
Nice
the
try.
A10
Stuff
Thunderbolt
isn't for you guys.
Warthog is classified as close air support
Like
type
us are
aircraft,
allowed to resupply.
which means it's meant for low-flying support for ground units like foot infantry or mechanized units. And it specializes in taking out enemy armor, specifically main battle tanks. Since during the time of its production, the Cold War was still going on, you know, the U.S. thought that,
Missile hit.
you know, if an actual war was going to break out, then East Germany was going to be a main battleground. And so they wanted to design a aircraft that was good at kind of like low, slow flying into valley and hill areas.
All bombers destroyed before takeoff. Who did that?
So it was introduced
Fast. Keep
to
up
the
the good
Air
work.
Force around 1977, and it had its first test flight back in
The
72.
vehicles have been taken out. Move on to the next target.
Its production line would go from 72 up till 1984, but it still is used today. They just don't make any more new models of
Spare
it.
15, target destroyed.
They'll just like repair and replace parts of the all the old ones.
Vehicle down.
So, what's interesting about the A10 is that it was designed around its main battle cannon instead of the other way around. You know, building the plane and like sticking a whole bunch of weapons on it. The GAU-8 Avenger rotary cannon is what it's called. It's basically like a massive Gatling gun that fires a caliber bullet that's twice as big as a 50 cal, and fires twice as fast as a MG42. So this thing is insane. If you've seen like any video game or movie with an A10, like you'll recognize the sound of the main cannon. Unfortunately, the game you can't hear it that well, and it actually doesn't have a separate stat for the main cannon, so it fires as fast and does as much damage as any other plane, which is kind of disappointing. But what's funny is its Gatling gun is made by General Electric, the same company that makes light bulbs and like household appliances. Like, for whatever reason, they were in the business of making a Gatling gun for the Air Force. I don't know why them in specific. I mean, it's not. I guess it's not too weird if you think about, like, you know, Ford was making tanks back in World War II. But it's just kind of funny to think about, like, next time you're out buying light bulbs, you just think about this same company built like a massive machine gun on this giant plane. But stat-wise, in-game, it's a really easy plane to control and move around. That's mainly because it has extremely low speed. It has really high defense, so you can take a lot of hits. But what you gotta watch out for is you're really slow. This is probably one of the slower planes, probably one of the slowest, I think, in the game. You're not going to be doing any quick turns. And if you try to do quick G-turns, you're at high risk of stalling out, which you really don't want with this one. Well, you can kind of see I'm already taking a whole lot of damage, and I'm about to die here pretty soon, actually. So you want to make sure that your bombing runs are very quick. You want to, like, stay on target. Like, once you let a missile out, you gotta, like, get out of there as soon as you can.
Hostile has a lock.
But yeah, you have the first airfield. First airfield, this one, and there's one a little bit to the, I think it's to the south of this one if you're looking at the radar, that you want to head to in that order.
Something happens, I'll tell you what to do next. Osia has one. It probably says where and when pawns like us will die. You mean they already know the next strategy? Hold up. Let's make a bet. Whoever guesses the next strategy wins. You can get in on this too, Bandog.
Maybe you guys need to cool your heads off in solitary.
Let me look into this doctrine thing. Trigger is down!
This dialogue is weird. This whole, like, in the whole game. Not just this mission. The entire game's dialogue is very weird. And there's the... So yeah, you can't really outrun missiles like you can with the other jets.
Aircraft approaching at high speed, bearing 280. They're drones.
These must be the infamous drones.
They can dogfight without pilots?
Machines are not replacing humans.
Calm down. They're just obstacles in your way. Don't forget your original mission.
It's bad enough just dealing
So
with the surface.
you don't want to,
Damn.
if you're using a bomber,
Triggers destroyed all the trucks.
just ignore the drones.
This is Spare 11. Enemy base dead ahead. Damn it, we can't do this from the sky. We need
I don't
ground
think you get
troops.
points for
Spare
taking them
11,
out.
just do
I'm not
your
sure
job.
about that.
Just give us a bomb
But
big enough
it's
to blow the
best
area.
to just ignore them.
Did the jailer know about the shitstorm he was sending us into?
Especially if you're using a bomber, they're either going to outrun you or outmaneuver you
Don't
and
pretend like
shoot
you
you out of the
deserve any
sky.
better.
So
Continue with the operation.
overall, like, ignore them if you can. Shoot them down if you absolutely have to. If you need to, which is what I'm doing right now. If you're low on special weapons or you need repairs, You can head back to the spawn area of the mission. You can tab out on the radar, you know, cross that line, and you can prepare and everything. It will cut down on your time limit though by about 1 or 2 minutes though, so just keep that in mind if you're near the end of the mission. You don't want to cross that line. Just kind of like make do with what you have. But if you got some time, you know, left on the clock, it's fine.
Bank right.
So you can barely see the cannon up there.
Lower your nose. You're too high.
And this is optional. You can just skip the landing and the takeoff sequences. I just think they're fun. I actually don't think you can die here. I think it's like it's not automated, but it's really assisted. Like it kind of will adjust you the closer you get to the runway.
Too fast. Lower
Like
your
it'll
airspeed.
it'll keep your airspeed at a certain speed, so you don't careen onto the taxi. It does remind me a lot of the Top Gun NES game, where like the last thing you have to do is land on the aircraft carrier. And that was apparently a really hard thing to do.
Spare 15, you are clear
If
for
you've,
takeoff. Get your ass in
Like I
gear.
remember one of the first videos on YouTube I actually saw was the AVGN video on that game. Probably explains like why I cursed so goddamn much when I was watching that as a kid. A little too young. Yeah, you can skip these 2 parts. Yeah, it's not that difficult. If you want a game that has like actual in-depth like landing and takeoff procedures, I would recommend looking at VCS World on Steam. It's a like actual aircraft sim where each plane is like a DLC that you have to pay $50 for, and it comes with a user's manual on each plane, like what everything in the cockpit does. But if you have like no time for that shit, like I do, just play Ace Combat. It's just as fun. You can pretend like you actually know how to fly a plane instead of like having to spend 2 weeks reading over a manual before playing that game.
What happens to a bet when the banker's out?
Oh yeah, so High Roller's dead now.
Another man down. There's no point. Retreat. Follow your orders. Continue the operation.
Heading over to the last airfield now. This one's a little more difficult since the drones are going to be on your ass, and there's a lot more SAMs for this one. So you just got to be more careful and like watch how you're flying this one.
Poor decision on your part. I've still got top score.
And a lot of cloud coverage too, so just try and what I would say is like fly really low and like keep up on the speed. Don't let the SAMs have a chance to lock onto you and get a good shot.
No, we got a fire. You've done a fair amount of work to their ground units, but I see some of you still have ammo.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that's left of the mission, so I'll go ahead and leave you here. Hope you have a good one whenever you're watching this.
You'll pay for this. Looks like we're the only ones having fun out here. Trigger, the one with the highest score wins. Let's settle who's best once and for all. Nothing but trouble this mission, I'm afraid. Spare 15, target destroyed. The enemy's got a lock!
Missile. 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 Missile.
Set up AA weapons. Put them on a flat surface.
Missile. 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 Missile.
Whatever. They'll just be ordered to retreat.
Okay. You've hit the enemy base enough. Operation is complete. Head back. The bastards who flew off are going to wish they were never born. You guys get a pass.
Damn right. I wouldn't be surprised if we're thrown in solitary too. Hey, who wants to bet who goes into solitary? That's what that gambling nutjob would say if he was still here.
Where's your sense of humor, guys? Your buddy's making a joke. Laugh already.
You lost planes, but the mission succeeded. However, some of you crossed the return line for supplies and for repairs. This will result in solitary. Take them